Nine Flames Sovereign Chapter 45, Brutal War Bear. Aware of Han Feng's extraordinary combat power, the guard immediately said, "Master Feng, it was indeed a new monster that was caught a few days ago, but that monster is now very wild, and it is still the third-level peak monster. It is a warrior with 8 main veins. Be careful, you can get hurt, and you can even die in severe cases." Han Feng touched his chin and thought for a while. The family trial will begin tomorrow. It doesn't matter if some of your strength is exposed today. It just so happens that the family has more confidence in me. Thinking of this, Han Feng waved his hand. "Didn't you have you by the side? No matter how powerful the third-level monsters are, how can they be your opponents to the late masters of the mortal level?" Han Feng's words made several guards smile suddenly. They are older. They are in their 20s or nearly 30, and some are even more than 30. They have only reached the late stage of the mortal stage at this age, and they have not even reached the middle stage of the late stage of mortal stage. There is little hope of breaking through the human stage in the future. It's amazing, that is, the level of 1 or 2 stars. This kind of strength, in the Han family, said high is not high, said low is not low, in short, it is the public. They are used to being humble, and now they are flattered by what Han Feng said. One of the guards patted his chest and abdomen fiercely. "Don't worry, Master Feng, your subordinates are swearing to defend Master. This is a larger cage than before." Inside the cage, fierce roars continued to be heard. Han Feng Yixi, what you want is this kind of beast. What kind of soft beasts were before? Master Feng, you must be careful later, the guard said with a solemn expression. Inside the cage, a tall figure rushed quickly, without waiting for Han Feng to enter. The cage had just opened a little, and the huge figure had already rushed over, and the ground shook with bursts of roar. Savage War Bear. Seeing this monster, Han Feng was surprised. Savage War Bear, among the low-level warcraft, it is definitely the hegemonic status. Below the 5th level of warcraft, there are very few war bears of the same level that can fight the barbarian war bear. Before the human level, human beings mainly used close-in attacks, and the same is true for monsters. Before the 5th level, they had no long-range attack ability at all, so they could only go head-to-head. The Savage War Bear is head-to-head, and close combat has an absolute advantage. The tall body and powerful claws are the advantages of the Savage War Bear. Savage War Bear was born as a 2nd-level initial beast, and it is a 4th-level adult. An adult Savage War Bear with a height of 5 or 6 meters. Now this Savage War Bear is more than 4 meters tall and is obviously very close to adulthood. Condensing claw power. Han Feng fought fiercely with the claws of the Savage War Bear, and then Han Feng's whole body was caught and flew out. Master. Several guards were taken aback. Just about to take action, they were blocked by Han Feng's eyes. Who? The Savage War Bear stepped on the ground, roaring and continuing to rush towards Han Feng. Han Feng's right hand hurts, and his face is a bit distorted. This animal is too strong. It is difficult to take advantage of this animal by relying solely on claw condensation. The Savage War Bear's claws fell, and Han Feng's entire head was about to be scratched. At this moment, Han Feng twisted his body and escaped the attack of the Savage War Bear at a weird angle, and then Han Feng hugged one of the arms of the Savage War Bear with both hands, and his hands exploded. Bone Breaker. Bone Crushing Hand, not just the right hand, both hands can play the role of bone crushing. The next moment, the Savage War Bear uttered a screaming scream. Apart from the pain, the Savage War Bear broke out fiercely, and the other claw slammed Han Feng into the air. If it weren't for Han Feng to resist in time, the whole belly would be torn apart. Rao is so, Han Feng also had a few more wounds on his chest. Han Feng continued to retreat, calmly watching the Savage War Bear wailing on the ground. Han Feng's bone-crushing hand has not reached the realm of completeness after all, and the barbarian war bear's body is also extremely powerful, so 1/3 of the bones are not broken. Han Feng looked secretly surprised. This barbarian war bear is really strong in physical quality, it's not dead. Han Feng immediately stepped forward, and his claw-condensing skill ended the life of the savage war bear. The surrounding guards opened their mouths. Although the Hua Yunbao was killed before, they can still bear it. After all, Hua Yunbao is a third-level mid-level monster that has lost its fighting spirit. But this savage war bear is still easily killed by Han Feng. This shock is not comparable to before. This savage war bear has just been captured. It is untamable and extremely powerful, no different from the monsters in the mountains. Forget it. But this savage war bear is still the third-level pinnacle, and it is about to enter the fourth-level existence. It itself is under the fifth level among the beasts, and belongs to the same level of overlord. Is still easily killed, it's too. Several guards did not fully recover until Han Feng left quietly, and took a breath. Looked at each other a few times, and quickly informed the top of the family. Han Feng's strength has progressed too fast. Such a genius is definitely the luck of the family and must be protected from death. Instructor Lin learned of all this and immediately went to the place where the savage war bear died. Instructor Mu also passed. Instructor Mu's face was seriously observed for a long time. Well, novel. Calm before he was quite shocked and said, the second level of Bone Crusher is definitely the second level of Bone Crusher. Instructor Lin's face twitched fiercely, not only the second layer, they have reached the peak of the second layer, and they are not far from the third layer. Fortunately, this is strong and strong, otherwise you have to be tossed to death. The two immediately told the house owner Han Yu and several elders. The elders stomped abruptly, Patriarch, this kind of talent is really rare. As the old man sees, this kid must never participate in the family trial. It's too precious. If something happens in the family trial, that's it. A huge loss. The other elders couldn't help but nod their heads. Yes, this genius should be well protected until he grows up in front of everyone in the future. From the establishment of the Han family to the present, no, from the establishment of the entire city to the present, which one will have the strength to contend the late stage of entering the ordinary stage in just 2 months? This kind of strength development speed, as long as there is a technique, it is always provided, not to mention the mysterious stage, it is the ground stage, it is not impossible. When mentioning the ground steps, the eyes of the whole family became hot. For the little Han family, the Xuan Tier is a strong person to look up to, and the ground step is a realm that cannot be expected. Han Yu couldn't laugh at this moment. The progress of his grandson's strength was too unexpected. Such a genius really couldn't make people willing to let go to participate in the family trial. Instructor Lin and Instructor Mu looked at each other. They never expected that the final result would be like this. Instructor Lin was a little anxious, and asked Han Feng to withdraw from this family trial. How could this be done?